Hey, it's Matt, Rap Boys Podcast, 5.5. I just want to give y'all like a quick story about like why, how I fell in love with wrestling. Um, it all started from like as a kid, really. So like back in like with the '90s, of course, because I'm born in '93. I had two sets of cousins, of course. So you got your mom's side, you got your dad's side. So with mom's side, it all started with my oldest cousin Jason. He was at the WCW. So like with WCW, of course, you got Sting, you got Rey Mysterio, you had like Conan, Billy Kidman, Sting, all of them. And then on my dad's side, I had Dave. Dave had he was a WWE fan, so he introduced me to people like Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Triple H, Undertaker, those type beings. So I go to say this because like for like from that day on, it was all about wrestling. Like I used to do like wrestling moves with Jason all the time. Like, say he'll put me like a hole, because Jason was also a mat wrestler. So like, Jason used to wrestle back in school. So of course, like being a boy, like growing up, like your oldest cousin, like that's literally like my brother. Like we literally be like wrestling around, put me in a hole, like a sleeper hole, stuff like that. Not, you know what I mean, all that type of stuff. And then over with Dave, like, cause like what happened was like, especially with my mom and dad, they split. I had really two sides. So it was like really when I go there to my dad's, I'll be like every day and we do bullshit like that. So like when it came down to like doing like sharpshooters and shit like that, like he'll tell you like I used to put him like sharpshooter in like the basement, and like him and his sister Daedra, like we used to always be bullshitting down there and fooling around. But like it's always a good time. When it came down to, like it really like taking off as far as the real passion for it, like I had like my PlayStation 1. And so I think I had like yeah, I did have SmackDown too. No, you're wrong. But some of the funnest times in my life, like for like, I would always bring my PlayStation everywhere I went. And like, so I mean, all right, mind you, I might get a little emotional just because the fact is like, it's kind of like story of me. But it's like, this is what we wanted. So like, I used to have my PlayStation with me all the time. Like that was literally my crutch. It was like my babysitter in a way to speak, like going through all the stuff that like with my mom and my dad divorcing. You know what I mean? Like that was the biggest thing. Kind of kept me in zone, kept me kind of grounded, kind of emotionally, physically. Like you know saying, just like morally. And so it was kind of like my best friend. So like of course like playing PlayStation, I brought it all with me. And then like you know what I mean, you get one controller. And so you know I'm realizing I can get more than one controller, so I gotta do that. So of course I did that. So I would go to my pops. It would be like I definitely have my cousins come over. So it'd be like Dave, Shannon, Leroy. Like we all, like even my sister sometimes, we'd be in the crib and like in the den, just playing the game faithfully. And we would be playing wrestling all the time. And it's just like, you know what I mean? We'd do that for hours and hours, do like tag team matches, do fatal four-way matches. You know what I mean? And it was just like, yo, I got to the point, like, I was literally busting their ass all the time. Like, he might lie about it and bullshit, say like I didn't. I bust their ass. And like, you know what I mean? It would be to the point, it was like, again, I'm still young. So it's like, me being young, you, you don't necessarily see like certain folks like, you know what I mean? You don't want your young ones to talk a certain type of way, but like, I was literally calling like a cocksucker all the time, like on bullshit, and like, they would crack up. Like, I was literally that kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, you want me to say something, I usually say it. Like, I was that person. So, I mean, like, me being like, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'll be crashing out on here all the time with y'all. Like, understand the fact that it's literally like been me like all my life. Like as far as like me being outspoken and all that type of stuff, that stuff comes from wrestling as well. It comes from being like from a Stone Cold. It comes from like a Triple H, a Rock. You know what I mean? Those type of personalities, like when you adapt those personalities, I'm not necessarily saying I'm a wrestler, no, but I'm saying for the simple fact that it's like I'm literally like the person that's like I want to do that, I want to be that. And so it's just fun shit that you just always do. You just always make sure that you kind of like hone into. It was always just fun when you would do it. So like when I got older, Like in sixth grade, I actually started mat wrestling, and so it was my first time doing it, and I was actually really good at it. You know what I mean? I just stopped practicing like that. Like I stopped doing it like I did, like I used to. Only because the fact is like you start like in school like that, you start getting involved with like girls, you start thinking about girls, shit like that. So it's like, nah, man, I don't want them thinking no type way. But I always watched it. You can never stop me from watching it. Like I watched it from young. I've been through Ruthless the Russian era. I've been through the fuck the Attitude era. I've been through like the PG era. I've been a fan this whole time. You know what I mean? I never gave up on it. You know what I'm saying? I tried to dibble and dabble into like TNA, shit like that. That's why I got the love for like AJ Styles, shit like that. Like I be peeping shit like Samoa Joe, like you know what I mean? I be peeping shit. So I've always a fan. Never sturdied away from the love of wrestling. It was to the point where I even had a trampoline in my backyard here with mom's. Me and my friends, hold on. Me and my friends, we were literally like bullshit and be wrestlers back there. Like we had music, we had title belts, we had finishing moves. You know what I mean? It was like me, my man Drew, Nick, Todd, Danny, like all of us. Like we were just kind of be bullshitting back there the whole time. Like you know what I mean? It was just like so. And there were even times where I was literally by myself, like just kind of just doing wrestling shit by myself. You know what I mean? Just reenact this shit, just the love of it. You know what I mean? Doing power bombs, like flipping myself over, backflips, jumping off shit. So like Jeff Hardy, he inspired like the Daredevil side. You know what I mean? Rey Mysterio, he did that. You know what I'm saying? The luchador side, like Eddie Guerrero gave you the cheating tactics, you know what I'm saying? Then you get like Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, you know what I mean? Those would be like your power, your muscles. You know what I'm saying? I was always a fan of like different personalities. Like of course then you got the Undertaker. And of course like you hear me many times talking about like Bray Wyatt, stuff like that. Like personalities was what kind of drove me to really like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? It was wrestling, Batman, literally, because like I mean, even my robe, like you see my robe, like Batman. It was PlayStation shit. Like I reenacted like everything I kind of had a love for. You never could shade me away from loving what I love. You know what I mean? And it's shit like that just kind of like drove me to even get to the part of just doing this podcast. The moment Dave told me about doing this podcast, boy, I was on it. Like I couldn't wait to do it. You know, like I literally watch all of it, watch the product. You know what I mean? Blood in, blood out, that type shit. Like you can't shy me away from it. People are like, oh yeah, it's fake. Nah, it ain't fake, bro. Like just because the fact that it's staged, don't mean to say it's fake. I mean a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they actors? Yeah, they could be. You could consider them as actors, but at the same time, it's still just something that I just really love. You could never shade me away from something I really love. You know, and so it's like it's crazy because you think about like all those years. Like I'm only 31. Like think about all these years. Like because there was a time when like me and Dave like we were drifted apart. Like not blaming him, not blaming me because it wasn't our fault at all. But like all that stuff just kind of like makes a full circle and brings us back together as a cohesive unit. You know what I mean? Like if it wasn't for Dave reaching out for Rock Boys podcast, it probably wouldn't have happened. And I appreciate it for it because it's like at the end of the day, it's like he gave us the idea to make this platform so we could show and you know what I'm saying and bounce off each other's knowledge of the game, knowledge of like I'm saying the love of the sport, I'm saying the love of wrestling. Period. You know what I mean? And it's an amazing thing. It's like I feel for like it's brought me and my cousin together in so many more ways than what y'all really realize it. You know, and I cherish all of it. Like even to the point, it's like I got my son out here holding up the one every time. Like you see Roman Reigns, you know what I mean? It's to the point like I'm doing handshakes with young boys on my team. Like again, because we be locked in like that. Like you know, say I got them calling me up saying like, "Yo, do you see that? Like, yo, you can't hit me on Saturday because I'm watching the PLE. I'm with you with the PLE too, bro. Like, you ain't got knock that. You know what I mean? Then there, like, you know what I'm saying? I see it. Like, he done hit me a couple times. He told me to go to ECW show. I couldn't do it because I had my son. But like, either way, it's like the fact. It's like you had that community that is there, and it's like you know what I mean. With that community, it's a growing community that people don't necessarily like. You can be like a closet wrestling fan, but like, nah, it's like yo, for like, we live it out here. Like we all here, we all just doing what we gotta do so to make sure we stay here as a whole cohesive bloodline. Simple as that. We the bloodline. You know what I mean? And it's very cool. In fact, it's like we really do this on a weekly basis to bring this stuff. I mean, even sharing this right now is the personal side because like it's something that's like you really just like love. And like when you love something, it's not work. You know what I mean? Like this is literally like it's a passion. You know what I mean? Like there was a point where it's like I looked at like WWE applications and like I thought about it, but it's like it's that road life that would definitely take me away from my son. Like if I had my son, like let's say this now, if I had my son, would I have done it? Yeah, I would have done it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's like I'm always blessed the fact that I can still watch product and still give y'all these shows on a weekly basis. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I love my son more than anything. You know, and so it's like it's always gonna come down to shit like that. But like, yeah, nah, it's fun as hell to do these podcasts. It's fun as hell to talk to my cousin. Like trip that we talk about going to India in February. Like I definitely want to do that shit. Like you know what I mean. Really got want to get numbers cracked down. Try to figure shit out. Try to figure out like, well, who want to go? Because again, we can get spots. We can get more than one spot. You know what I'm saying? And make sure the fact is like we can be there. Because like we all gonna have a good time. We all gonna be there. Like yo, like, and I know I'm kind of bouncing all over the place because it's just, hey, it's just like how emotional things. It's like what I mean. Again, it means a lot. It means a lot. But like I want to give us like again, shout out to Dave for all this. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like certain ideas, certain things that it came to the forefront. Like he kind of helped out with that one. Kind of push it forward so we can kind of open up this bridge for any wrestling fan that want to hear some irrational, like not necessarily irrational, some like authentic fandom. You know what I mean? On the forefront, like you want to hear some bullshit, you want to hear some real shit, you want to hear some predictions, you want to hear some crazy ass predictions, shit that you ain't even really think about. You come here to Rock Boys Podcast. It's Matt. I'm signing out for y'all right now. All right, see y'all next week.